The Hawaii Supreme Court just ruled that a man who bought his gun legally in Florida can be prosecuted for carrying his gun in public without a permit. And I kid you not, they quoted a TV series and the spirits of Aloha to justify it.
The Hawaii Supreme Court has upheld the state's laws that generally prohibit carrying a firearm in public without a license. Justice Todd Eddins wrote in a unanimous decision this week that, quote, states retain the authority to require individuals have a license before carrying firearms in public. This decision reversed the dismissal of charges for carrying without a permit, referencing the 2008 District of Columbia versus Heller court ruling that recognized an individual right to bear arms for self-defense, thus disagreeing with the United States Supreme Court's Second Amendment rulings.
Welcome to the United States of Idiocracy. In 2017, a guy named Christopher Wilson had a loaded pistol in his front waistband when police were called after a Maui landowner reported seeing a group of men on his property at night. The handgun was unregistered in Hawaii, and Wilson didn't have a Hawaii permit to own the gun. Wilson told the police he legally bought the gun in Florida in 2013. Wilson denied trespassing and said he and his friends were hiking that night to look at the moon and native Hawaiian plants, according to the recent ruling. Christopher Wilson tried to dismiss the charges, arguing that prosecuting him for possessing a gun for self-defense violated his 2A rights. The court denied his dismissal. When the U.S. Supreme Court in the Bruin decision ruled that modern firearm laws must be consistent with the nation's historical traditions of firearm regulation, Wilson filed to dismiss his case again and won. But the state of Hawaii, who clearly forgot that they are
part of the United States,
appealed the decision, and here we are with the spirit of Aloha and a quote from The Wire. And I quote, "The spirit of Aloha clashes with a federally mandated lifestyle that lets citizens walk around with deadly weapons during day-to-day activities." Those are the words of the Hawaii Supreme Court Justice Todd Eddins in his written opinion that is now ruling that Wilson can be prosecuted for carrying a gun in public without a permit in Hawaii. Apparently, this judge is on his eat, pray, love journey. And speaking of love, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and shop.mrcolionnoir.com has the perfect Valentine's Day gift for your lover, the Happiness Comes From Guns collection. Too many people try to find happiness through relationships, and that's all wrong. If you're not happy single, you won't be happy married. Happiness comes from guns, not relationships. So head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com and grab your Happiness Comes From Guns t-shirts, hoodies, tumblers, and whiskey glasses for your special Valentines. Now, this judge's goofy opinion didn't stop there. He also quoted a line from The Wire to justify disarming people and express that the culture from the founding of the country shouldn't dictate contemporary life.
The thing about the old days, they the old days.
Besides this being an unbelievably goofy way to justify an unconstitutional law, it contradicts itself. The word aloha is a word that dates back to the 1800s.
It's a composition of two words, alo and ha. And alo means in the presence of, literally translated, and ha is the breath of life.
Therefore, the spirit of aloha means nothing if you can't effectively protect the body that the breath of life is in. Using a word that means breath of life to justify taking away someone's right to protect their life is wild. Besides, Hawaii became an American state in 1959. The Spirit of Aloha law passed in 1986, and it's a law that requires that the state officials and judges treat the public with aloha. That's a directive to the government of Hawaii and has literally no authority against the Constitution of the United States, which has an entire Bill of Rights, which is our spirit of aloha.
Say aloha to it.
Aloha.
That says, in pertinent part, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. If you can spirit of aloha away the Second Amendment, what's next? You're gonna spirit of aloha away the First Amendment too? How about the Fourth Amendment or the 14th Amendment? Better yet, let's just all hula dance around a bonfire and throw the whole damn Constitution in that. This opinion sounds like it was written by an intellectual toddler on TikTok.
TikTok, you've got to be more careful.
You quote the thing about the old days,
They the old days.
but you're basing your entire opinion on an ideology or way of life that dates back to the 1800s. How is telling someone they can't protect themselves in keeping with the spirit of aloha? It seems to be in conflict if you ask me. Let's also not forget that not everyone is going to subscribe to the spirit of aloha. So what is someone supposed to do when they are confronted with a spirit of aloha atheist who is also a criminal trying to kill you? You can't hula dance your way to safety. It's not like Hawaii doesn't have violent crime.
There's been a staggering number, 80% surge in homicides on the west side of Oahu over last year. That according to the latest report by Honolulu Police. And West Oahu, not the only district experiencing an increase in murders.
Homicides are up 80%, which was pretty much 9 this year compared to 5 last year. And weapons offenses are up 42%.
Now, it was also revealed during the commission meeting that homicides in East Oahu are up as well, 50%.
Long story short, I understand the desire for peace, love, and tranquility. Who doesn't want that? But we live in reality. And in reality, there are people who want to see peace, love, tranquility, and your life burn. So disarming the people is the absolute worst thing you can do. Instead, empower the people to be able to protect themselves, which is what the founding fathers were doing when they wrote the Second Amendment, which is part of our Bill of Rights, which is part of the U.S. Constitution, the same U.S. that Hawaii is a state of, and therefore the Hawaii government has to obey. Guess we'll be seeing you at the U.S. Supreme Court.
Aloha.
And if you want to see why Shaq is sponsoring a buyback program even though they don't work, go ahead and click the link here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit that bell symbol so that you get all the notifications whenever I release a new video. And leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think.